Hey everyone, Nitron here. Welcome to part 10 and our final part of the Murder at Caste Nathria Theorycrafts. Today we'll be covering the Warrior deck. If you're interested in any of the other classes, please check out the last 9 videos, and I hope you enjoyed this mini-series. For Warrior, we only have one deck list, since the package of cards this expansion heavily have pushed the self-damage archetype, and even though Warrior is receiving some control-oriented cards this expansion, overall the list does not seem too promising in the upcoming meta. Of course, Quest Warrior will still be around, and the deck is receiving one new potential pirate in the Suspicious Pirate, which can generate more damage and value, especially if you can fool your opponent and make them guess the wrong choice. For our Warrior list, we're going all in on a self-damage package that utilizes both Frenzy cards as well as buffing cards. If you look at our shell here, we can see very powerful minions that work well with the self-damage archetype, as well as minions that work very well with gaining buffs from self-damaging. Starting off, we run a copy of Execute, as there is a lot of damaging going on, and this can easily be activated. For strong minions that relate to self-damaging as well as buffing, we have Armor Smith, which gains armor for us as our friendly minions take damage. Frothing Berserker, which gains attack as things get damaged. Blade Master's Demero, which acts as a very powerful board clear, especially when buffed up by other cards in the deck. Razormane Raider, which can get a very powerful attack in with its Frenzy effect, especially if it's been buffed up by other cards. And Mr. Smite, which if buffed up can give us a very powerful damage hit that can possibly be a game-winning finisher. Some other minions we run in the shell that relate to deck cycle include Harbor Scamp, which tutor out a Stone Maul Anchorman or Mr. Smite. Igneous Lava Gorger, which can dredge and search out certain cards in our deck, as well as give us some health back. And Stone Maul Anchorman, which can be directly tutored out by the Harbor Scamp, and cycles us for an additional card. The final aspect of our shell include our Frenzy-related cards, such as Crush Lord of Turtling, which has the powerful Frenzy effect of giving us 8 health back, as well as equipping a weapon after it dies. And Overlord Sorfane, which resurrects 2 of our Frenzy minions that have died during the game, and does a self-damage effect for our entire board. If you look at the full list here, we can see the rest of our self-damage package. Starting with the Sanguine Depths, a very powerful location card and effect for this deck, which lets us self-damage a minion and give it attack. Anima Extractor, arguably one of the best drops of the deck list, since it gives us very big buffs for minions in our hand. Crazed Wretch, which if buffed up enough can give us a very powerful hit, however even without any buffs would be a 3/3 with charge, after being self-damaged once. Imbued Axe, which buffs up our damaged minions, as well as having a very powerful Infuse 3 effect of giving even bigger buffs to our minions that are damaged. Decimator Ulgra, one of our very powerful board clear, as well as possibly game-finishing minions, that gains attack for all of the damaged minions on the board, and then attacks all of the enemies. Remornia Living Blade. This legendary is proven to be very powerful in this deck list, especially if buffed up by the Anima Extractor, as it allows us to get a lot of damage as well as board clear from one card. We also run Dredger's Staff to give a health buff to minions in our hand, so we have more chances to self-damage, as well as have better chances at survivability for some of our minions that are on the weaker side. And finally, since we're playing a minion-heavy deck list, Caste Nathria fits very well into this, as we can get a lot of infuses throughout the game, especially if we've started with this in the opening hand or have drawn it early enough. Overall, this deck list falls more on the tempo or mid-range side of playstyle. However, it's very surprising how quickly this deck can shift into a very aggressive board state, especially if you can combo out some very powerful buffs with the Anima Extractor. As always, this deck list will be linked in the video description below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. However, watching is all support I could ask for. Once again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my mini-series, and I'll see you in Caste Nathria.